Hello students, aspirants. I am Aruna Mohan Rao, IPS, Director of the RAO'S Academy for Competitive Exams, Bhopal and Hyderabad. We have a lot of programs designed for you, UPSC students, as well as APPSC and TGPSC. Right now, our APPSC test series is going on, and the quality and the quality of the paper has been very good, and students have been updating their knowledge and also their skills by taking this particular test series. And the upcoming programs are, we are going to have a merit scholarship test for UPSC for the upcoming prelims 2025. The merit test scholarship test will be held on 5th of January, and you can avail of very attractive discounts. And then we also have the test series comprising of 35 tests which will be starting on 7th of January. So please hurry up and join the test series, which will give you a complete revision of all your static subjects as well as your current affairs, and which will also include your CSAT. So this comprehensive test series will be a very good revision platform for you before you take the exam in May 2025. So now I'll come back to the TGPSC Group 2 exam, which was held on 15th of December, and I am going to deal with the English part. And we already have a bilingual video on YouTube which is dealing with the English part. You can go through that as well, but this is mainly for students who have appeared in the English medium, and I will be explaining to you which answer is correct and why. Okay. So as we know, the questions on English start at the serial number 129. So let's read the question. There are a few points which I would like to make before I go into the exact question and answer series. When you have to do English comprehension or when you have to do English grammar, the first thing you have to do is read the sentence completely. So you get an idea of what exactly the examiner is trying to say in the sentence, and then you try to answer, because if you read a part in parts and parts, then you can go wrong. Because for a grammatically correct sentence, you need to know from the beginning to the end what the sentence is all about or what the paragraph is all about. So read the sentence completely and then try to answer the question so you cannot go wrong. So the first question was numbered at 129. I would also advise you to have a glance at the options as well before you read the question. Glance at all the options and then decide on the correct answer. So here he says India and China held another round of diplomatic talks to complete the disengagement process in eastern Ladakh, and in the dash of any breakthrough. So here you can imagine, in a lack of any breakthrough or whatever, dash to maintain regular contact, see diplomatic and military channels, dash the border peace. So this is something to do with India-China disarmament process or disengagement process. So here India and China held another round of diplomatic talks to complete the disengagement process in Eastern Ladakh and in the dash of any breakthrough. So you just see what are the options here: absence of any breakthrough, presence of any breakthrough, lack of any breakthrough, dearth of any breakthrough. Here the two options which look likely are absence and lack. So where there is a lack of any breakthrough, dash to maintain regular contact. So here agreed to maintain regular contact. Here it says permitted. So the most probable answer would be agreed, because there are two parties. They agree to maintain regular contact, dash diplomatic and military channels. Matlab through diplomatic and military channels. Here the within doesn't match the words, and military channels dash border peace, for border peace. Here it is from border peace. This also doesn't match. So you can come down to two options, and then you can come down to the first option. So this is your correct answer. So A is your correct answer. Okay. The second one, several ex-bank customers have reported either attempted or successful dash transactions with international merchants the last few years. So, this is something to do with the transactions in a bank. The bank said that the transactions C to be a bin attack. So, they are saying that this is a bin attack. The bank said that there was no dash of any breach, there was no breach, and as the frauds were undertaken with basic card information, the debited amounts were recoverable. This is from some paragraph, this line has been taken. So, here you can see, take the first word which you are going to, several X banks customers have reported either attempted or successful dash transactions with international merchants. So, here it is something to do with a fraud. We are talking about a bin attack, so we are talking about a fraud. So, the fraud words will be, it cannot be violent, bank, something online cannot be violent, it cannot be legitimate, here we are talking about a fraud, so legitimate does not work. Fraudulent, yes, because we are talking about a fraud, and silent, it may be an option, but not a very correct option. So, here very obviously you can go to the fraudulent part and say that a banker have reported either attempted or successful fraudulent transactions with international merchants over the last few years. Over is very, through is wrong, at is wrong, looked at is wrong. So, over is correct. So, this is a very obvious answer, and the remaining will come in naturally. The bank said there appeared to be no breach, and as the frauds were undertaken with basic card, the debited amounts were recoverable. There was no indication of any breach. Okay. So, this is your answer. So, here you have to see the first word which is going to be more compatible with your answer, and then go to that particular option. The next one is choose the correct mapping of the following jumbled sentences to make a paragraph. So, here again I would insist that you read the whole paragraph, read all the options before you decide to put it in order. As an undergraduate, Kamen developed the first pump that would give regular doses of medicines to patients. He flies to work by helicopter, which also uses for visiting his island off the coast of Connecticut. The patent for this and other medical inventions has produced a huge income, allowing him to run his own research company, which among other projects has produced the iBot, the world's first wheelchair that can climb stairs. Dean Kamen is a 50-year-old American eccentric who is also a multi-millionaire. He always wears blue denim shirts and jeans even when visiting his friend, the president, in the White House. So, here we are talking about a particular person who is eccentric, he is American, he is a multi-millionaire, and he also has invented something. He has a patent for a particular wheelchair, which also iBot, it's called the iBot, which it's called the iBot, which also climbs stairs. So, very advanced kind of instrument. So, here what you have to do in these kind of sentences is go to the basics first. So, here how is the man introduced? So, how is the man introduced? Dean Kamen is a 50-year-old American eccentric who is also a multi-millionaire. He always wears blue. So, this is a description of him. One is an introduction of the person and one is a description of the person. So, D and E are your basic, D and E will be your basic D and E will be your basic basic it will be your basic choices. So, here D and E you have here and you have here 1 and 3. So, you close down on a 1 and 3. So, here you have a description. So, what does he do? He flies to work by helicopter. Okay, this is the B. You have B here and you have A here. A is, as an undergraduate, he developed the first pump that would give regular dose. So, first is that he goes to work by helicopter, and then there he has produced this pump, and that pump is a patent which is one medical invention. So, this is the way you should work on these kind of questions. So, this will be your correct answer, D, E, then you have this B, then A and then C. So, this will be your correct answer. Okay. I hope you are understanding. So, next we go to 132. Choose the correct order of jumbled sentences which are marked P, Q, R, S, T from the options and choose so that it makes sense. Sentences S1 and S2 are given as introductory. So, S1 says we need to learn from nature, and S7 says don't let education put limits on you. So, this is something that it says you have to learn from nature, but don't let there be any limitations on you. So, what is the first option? When you don't know your limitations, you go out and surprise yourself. But the bumblebee doesn't know that and it keeps flying. The only limitations a person has are those that are self-imposed. In hindsight, you wonder if you had any limitations to begin with. According to scientists, the bumblebee's body is too heavy and its wingspan too small for it to be able to fly. So, these are the options that are given. So, here what is the introduction? First you have to see that one is they are talking about nature, second is they are talking about a bumblebee, and then they are talking about limitations on the human being. So, here he is introducing a bumblebee to explain about nature and also human limitations. So, here according to scientists, the bumblebee's body is too heavy and its wingspan too small for it to be able to fly. Okay. So, that will be your first option. T will be your first option, because all these other sentences come after this. So, once you know that the bumblebee is too heavy and it cannot fly, but the bumblebee doesn't know that and it keeps on flying. So, there is a correlation between these two sentences. So, you put them together. So, here if you put 2 and Q together, you have T and Q together, you have T and Q, you have 2 options, that is 2 and 3. So, let us see the next sentence. The next sentence will be, when you don't know your limitations, the only limitations a person has are those that are self-imposed, and according in hindsight you wonder if you had any limitations to begin with. So, here you have to these 3 sentences are related to human beings and their limitations. So, the first thing that you have to address is the only limitations a person has are those that are self-imposed. You generally impose restrictions on yourself. So, that will come in the third sentence, the R, and then you said in hindsight you wonder if you had any limitations to begin with, and the last will be when you don't know your limitations, you go out and surprise yourself. So, this is the way this question has to be answered, though it is a little tricky, but you have to correlate the bumblebee and nature and human limitations and how they have structured the whole thing. The next one is fill in the blanks in the following sentences with suitable words from the options given. So, they have given options, you have to read the sentence, understand the sentence, and then see what the options are and then you put them in. I usually spend 3 to 4 nights dash from home and then worked every weekend dash numbers, plotting graphs, writing presentations. I was dash all the time, it was an intellectual dash and a physical low. So, I spent 3 or 4 nights. You spend at home or away from home. So, there are the options are you have at home is not there. So, you have away from home. So, you have 2 options. You come down, you eliminate 1 and 3, come down to 2 and 4, which are saying away. I spent 3 to 4 nights away from home and then worked every weekend. So, you say in crunching numbers. So, here because of the sentence formation, then worked every weekend, crunching numbers. You cannot say have crunched because that is past tense. So, here you have been away from home, it is a present continuous tense. So, here you come crunched every numbers, plotting graphs, writing presentation. I was learning, learnt again past tense, no. I was learning all the time and it was an intellectual high and a physical low. Intellectually, because he was learning, so it was an intellectual high, but because he was away from home and also working a lot, so it was a physical low. So, this sentence is so here this because this goes to past tense, so this can be avoided and this will be your correct answer. Okay. So now we go up 134. So question number 134. 134 says, fill in the blanks with articles in the following sentence. Choose the correct alternative form from the options given below. So what is an article? An article is a word. There's only one definite article, which is the, the, and there are two indefinite articles, that is a and an. So wherever you use it, like you say, you use a before a consonant word and you use an before a vowel. So this is they're saying fill it with articles. So you use the, a or an. I went to dash prison a lot when I was dash a student of social work at Manchester University. So the options are: no article is required, a, the, a, the, a, no article is required, no article is required, and the, a, no article is required. I went to a prison a lot when I was a student. I went to a prison a lot when I was a student of social work at the, because Manchester University is a proper noun. So Manchester, in front of Manchester you will use the. So this is a relatively easy question, but you should know where and how to use an article. So the answer is 1. Okay. Now we go to the next one. Which of the following sentences have incorrect use of prepositions? Here again you have to be very careful when you have the word incorrect or correct. Sometimes you go wrong because in your hurry you sometimes miss the word and you think it is a correct preposition. So here prepositions are, what is a preposition? It is a word that shows the relationship between a noun and other words in a sentence. It actually shows your a relationship between noun. That's a preposition. So which of the following sentences have incorrect use of prepositions? So this is very needs to be very carefully read. I ordered for 10 books. So this is it is showing a relationship between you ordered something and what did you order. A national leader should communicate to his people effectively in the meeting. My friends after their tour will return in this month. They agreed with the project but disagreed with us. Okay. So here I ordered for 10 books. I ordered 10 books. There is no need for the for there. And then a national leader should communicate with people effectively in the meeting. That is a correct sentence. My friends after their tour will return in this month. Okay. They agreed with the project but disagreed with us. They agreed to the project but disagreed with us. So here A and D are the choices where you can zero down on 2. That will be your correct option. The next sentence is, choose the correct sequence of prepositions to be filled in the blankets in the following sentences to make them meaningful. As I told you, prepositions are words that show a relationship between noun and other words. Choose the correct sequence of prepositions. Could you hand these cookies with tea to the people in this meeting? So, and if you do not get one particular question correct, I mean if you are having a doubt, then go to the next one and see where the options are going to fit in. Since she had broken the rules of the contest, Sushila had to hand dash the prize. She had to hand back the prize because she broke the rules, so she had to give it back. So where is back in this? It is here and it is here. Okay. So here you have to see the next one. Please hand your passport dash at the office, it will be returned to you later. Please hand your passport in at the office, or around in the office, or back in the office, or in the office. There are two options, in. Okay. So we'll go with these two, 1 and 2. The papers are signed by an official before being handed around, on, around, back, before being handed back to the next department, or being handed before being handed to the next department. So here, could you hand these cookies on, in, with tea to the people in this meeting? Since she broken the rules, Sushila had to hand back. So here you will have to go with could you hand these cookies around with tea to the people in this meeting? Since she had broken the rules of the contest, Sushila had to hand back the prize. Please hand your passport in at the office. It will be returned to you later. The papers were signed by an official being handed on to the next department. So your option will be 2. Option 2 is your best bet in this particular question. Fill in the blanks with suitable form of words from the options given below. Now they have given some words and you have to fill them in this one to make sense. Next to him in dash came a vendor of fried groundnuts. Somebody came with fried groundnuts, a vendor, who gave his wear a fancy name each day, and people dash to him. A dash portion of this dash before the astrologer too. So here next to him in came a vendor of fried groundnuts, who gave his wear a fancy name every day. Next to him vocifer, vociferous, vociferousness, vociferousness. So if you are not very sure of where to use vocifer or vociferousness, go to the next word, who gave his wear a fancy name, and people flocked to him. Okay, so flock to him are 1, 2, 3. There are 3 flocks flocked in 1, 3 and 4. A dash portion of this. So when you say there is an amount and a dash portion of it is a considerable amount. So where is considerable? Considerable is only in 4. So here if you take 4, next to him in vociferousness came a vendor of fried grounds. Matlab there was a kind of competition for vociferousness, loudness, people are shouting. So here it says next to him in vociferousness came a vendor of fried groundnuts, who gave a fancy name to his wear every day, and people flocked to him. A considerable portion of this dallied before the astrologer too. So here your option will be 4. That is the right answer. 4 will be your right answer. Okay. Next question. The following 3 statements have an underlined word each. Identify the word from the given options that is a synonym of all the 3 underlined words. So here he is saying we have given 3 words in 3 sentences, different sentences, but all 3 words have one synonym or they have a one similar meaning. So this has to be identified. So here the following 3 statements have an underlined word. The public seems to have an insatiable appetite for celebrity news. Insatiable is something which is you have an appetite for more and more. It cannot be satisfied. The Raj has had enough of his sister's materialistic requirements. He had enough of it. Matlab his sister's demand for materialistic things, so he has had it. A dragonfly and its larva are both voracious eaters of their fellow creatures. Matlab dragonfly and its larva, they eat a lot. They are again insatiable. They cannot be satisfied with food, so they keep on eating. So here the words are insatiable, materialistic and voracious. So the 3 words, it cannot be grasping. Grasping is something you grab. Gracious, no, you have an insatiable desire for something, so it cannot be gracious. Hungry seems to be closer, but greedy seems to be more, it seems to be more agreeable to the words that are in the sentence. Insatiable, somebody who is very greedy, he cannot be satisfied with whatever he has, he needs more and more. Somebody who is very materialistic is very greedy because he wants more and more material things. Voracious is again somebody who has a hunger for too much of hunger for things, so more than hunger will be greedy. So this will be your correct answer. Okay. So C is your correct answer in this. 139. Choose the correct alternative to fill in the blanks of the following statements. Could you pass me dash piece of cloth? Very easy this is. I spilled some milk on the floor. So, could you pass me a piece of cloth? I have spilled some milk on the floor. Okay. So, your answer will be 3. Which of the following sentences are grammatically correct with reference to tense? So, what is the tense? Tense, present tense, past, present, continuous tense, future tense. So, according to tense, they are asking you which is the sentence grammatically correct. If you were an avid reader, you will take special interest in this project. If you were an avid, matlab were is past tense, you will take is present tense, present continuous. So, this sentence will be wrong. Okay. So, if he is a voracious reader of historical novels, he will read a lot of them eagerly and quickly. So, here you said if he is present, a voracious reader, he will read a lot, that is present. So, this sentence is correct. Had he had a prodigious memory, he can have impressed everyone. If he had, that is past, if he had a prodigious memory, he could have impressed everyone. He can impress is present. So, there is a mismatch here of the tenses. So, C is also wrong. If she works hard, she will enjoy the fruits later. If she works hard, now is present, she will enjoy the fruits, also present. So, that is also a correct sentence. So, your answer will be A and C. These two are wrong. So, the correct answers will be which are grammatically correct sentences. So, correct sentence here is B and D. B and D. These will be your answer. Okay. If you were an avid reader, you will take special interest in this project. If he is a voracious reader of historical novels, he will read a lot of them eagerly and quickly. Had he had a prodigious memory, he can have impressed everyone. That is a wrong sentence. If she works hard, she will enjoy the fruits later. That is also a tense correct sentence. Okay. Next one. Fill in the blanks with suitable form of verb from the options given below. The girl dashed coins from her piggy bank for quite some time before she dashed of buying a toy for herself. The girl counted or has been counting coins from her piggy bank for quite some time before she thought of buying a toy for herself. Okay. Here counted is one, she has counted and has, the girl counted coins from her piggy bank for quite some time before she thought of buying a toy for herself. Here because you think for quite some time, she has been doing it for quite some time. So, you say she has been counting for quite some time. So, he says the girl has been counting coins from her piggy bank for quite some time before she thought of buying the toy for herself. So, that should be the correct answer. Okay. Which of the following sentences has or have subject in agreement with the verb? There are sentences which have an agreement with the verb. So, here Mr. Atanu's computer as well as its programs are out of date. Many of us make New Year resolutions, but few of us keep them. Everybody talk about the weather, but nobody does anything about it. Neither Bhim nor his friends helps the villagers when they are in trouble. So, here you have the subject. What is the subject? The first part of your sentence will be the subject and the verb will be the doing verb. Doing word will be your verb. Mr. Atanu's computer as well as its programs are out of date. Here you are talking about a computer which is a singular instrument, and there you are talking about the programs. So, there are two different words. So, here you have the mismatch of, you have a mismatch. So, this sentence is not in agreement. Okay. Many of us make New Year resolutions, but few of us keep them. Many of us, few of us. So, there is a match. Everybody talks talks about the weather, because there is, when you talk about everybody, it's a plural word. They are talking about many people. So people talks. Everybody talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it. Neither Beam nor his friends helps the villagers when they were in trouble. Helps the villagers when they were in trouble. So here again, your sentences will be everybody talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it. This is the only sentence which is in agreement with everybody talks about the weather. Many of us make New Year resolutions, but few of us keep them. This is the correct sentence. Everybody talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it. C. Neither Beam nor his friend helps the villagers when they were in trouble. Okay. So here you have A and C, which are the wrong sentences, which are not in agreement. The subject is not in agreement with the verb. So your option 2 will be the correct option. Okay. So here subject is the first part of the sentence and your verb is your doing word, the action word. So they both should match each other. Let's come to the next question, 143. Bread and butter were served at breakfast. Which of the following sentence has appropriate subject verb agreement? Subject is this word, this part of the sentence, and verb is the action word. So bread and butter were served at breakfast. 2,000 rupees seems a reasonable price for this. A large number of teachers has problems with continuous assessment. Either she or her brothers is attending the function. So here we are talking about subject and verb. So here bread and butter, they are individually, you have to take them as individual units. So bread and butter was served at breakfast. 2,000 rupees seems a reasonable price for this, seems to be the correct answer. A large number of teachers have, because it's teachers, we are saying teachers plural, so you have to say have problems with continuous assessment. Either she or her brothers are attending the function. Here again you have a plural word. So the correct sentence with appropriate subject verb agreement will be 2. This will be your correct answer. Okay. Now we come to the next 144. Here, which of the following sentences has an incorrect passive form or voice? Incorrect passive form or voice. Which of the following have an incorrect passive form of voice? What is passive form? It is not a direct form of speech. Like you say, the chef cooked the meal. So that is the direct voice. And if you want to say in passive voice, you say the meal was cooked by the chef. So you are indirectly saying that the meal was cooked by the chef, but you are saying it indirectly. And directly you say the meal was cooked by the chef. Okay. So this is the difference between active and passive voice. So here he is saying which of the sentences have an incorrect passive form. Okay. So here I want to know how these substances are absorbed by the body. I want to know. So this is a directly I am asking, okay, I want to know something. The meeting was attended by salesmen from all the regions. Yes. Or the meeting was attended by salesmen from all the regions, or if it was in active voice, you would say, if it was otherwise, you would say salesmen from all over the regions attended the meeting. Okay. So this is a correct sentence. All successful candidates will be notified by posts. So this is it is an incorrect passive form. All bananas are eaten by the monkeys. That is also an active sentence. So here this is the incorrect passive form is all successful candidates will be notified by post, which is an active voice. Next, we come to question number 146. Choose the correct alternative that transforms the following sentence into reported speech. We won't eat it now, but we may have it for lunch tomorrow, said Sudesh. Active speech is we won't eat it now, we may have it for lunch tomorrow. So Sudesh said that. What is reported speech? Report what someone else has said, not what you have said, but what someone else has said. So Sudesh said we won't eat it today, we will eat it maybe tomorrow. So what Sudesh said was that they won't eat it then, but they may have it for lunch tomorrow. They won't eat it then, but they may have it for lunch the next day. They won't eat it now, but they might have it for lunch the following day. They won't eat it then, but they might have it for lunch for the next day. So here the word is now. We won't eat it now. So what he's saying is we won't eat it now, but we may have it for lunch tomorrow. Here we won't eat it then. So you have to say now and then, whether you want to have it. Sudesh is saying we won't eat it now, but we might have it for lunch the following day. Okay. So the next day will be the following day. You can have, you can say this tomorrow, the next day, the next day. And here the only difference is then and now. So you have to choose between these words. But we won't eat it now. They won't eat it then. They won't eat it now. They won't eat it now. But they might have it for lunch the next day. Here they gave you the following, they gave you next day, following day and tomorrow, which all mean the same thing. But in reported speech, when you say the Sudesh said that they won't eat it now, but they might have it for lunch the following day. So according to me, it is C, but you can always check with the commission's reply, commission's correct answers. This is always a disclaimer that we'll have to check with the final result which comes out of the commission. 146. Identify the correct mapping of the underlined word in the following sentences with its antonym. So here we have a, again it may be confusing because you may think of a synonym. Synonym is the same word, antonym is the opposite word. Okay. So the verbose explanation given by the lawyer was quite difficult to be understood by a layperson. Verbose is something which is very expansively spoken. He has been very his explanation and his verbal skills were very high. That is one word. Their method of functioning was extremely impeccable. Impeccable is very smooth, and there's no, you cannot point out anything wrong with it. Perfect. Impeccable is almost perfect. This city's pollution problem was alleviated by a sudden shower. The city's pollution was very heavy, but it got better with a shower. Since it rained, the pollution levels came down. Alleviated is it got better. The CEO of the company was an even-tempered man, somebody who was very cool, calm and collected. And the child's altruistic act surprised all. Altruistic is he did something which for others. When you do something for others, it's called an altruistic act. So here you see which words you actually know and immediately you can identify. So here altruistic, you can make out that you do for somebody else. So when you do it for yourself, it will be an antonym. So the child altruistic surprised all. E is, the E option will be self-centered. 2. So E2, where is E2? It is here. This is the only option which has E2. Okay. So that way you can eliminate the others. So there is E2, E5, E1. Now what did he say? A is 4. Verbose is something which is very eloquent, and 4 is succinct, that is very precise. Makes sense. B, extremely impeccable. B is 1. B is 1. Fallible. You say impeccable, fallible, something which is not so perfect. Then alleviated, no, alleviated. C is, C they say is 5. Alleviated is where you got some relief. Here it is opposite is intensified. So this also makes sense. D is 3. The CEO was even-tempered. Even-tempered. D is 3. Unpoised. Somebody who is poised, who is very self-controlled, calm and quiet. Unpoised is somebody who is not evenly tempered and very moody. So here you have, by the elimination method, even if you knew one, you could eliminate all the others and come to a particular answer. So this was the answer. Okay. So now let's go forward. 147. 5 sentences are given which are marked P, Q, R, S and T. Identify the correct sequence of the following jumbled sentences to form a meaningful paragraph. So they've given you some sentences with particular alphabets and you have to put it together. So for this I would recommend that you read all the sentences first Try to understand what is being said and then try to put it together. As with any type of service, we intend to hire or outsource IT related or otherwise. It is commonly understood that we will be confronted with a marketplace comprised of service providers of varying qualities and reliability. So, here you are looking for a type of service that you intend to give, IT service, but you will also find that there are many other service providers who are providing quality and reliability. Others yet may simply be insincere or temporary business ventures that unexpectedly disappear or are acquired within a short period of time. They say that there are many businesses which come and go. They are not sustainable. They don't sustain over a period of time. Some may offer attractive rates and terms, but may have unproven business histories or highly proprietary environments where you cannot be a very good service provider because of unproven business history. Cloud computing is at its essence a form of service provisioning. So, here he is introducing the topic of cloud computing. Others may have a solid business background, but may demand higher rates and less flexible terms. So, your competitors may have a solid business background, but they may be, because of their sustainability and because of their experience, they may be charging higher rates. So, here the first sentence that you have to look is the introduction. So, what are we talking about here? We are talking about cloud computing. Cloud computing in its essence is a form of service provisioning. So, this should be your first sentence. So, that is S. So, where do we have S? We have S here and we have S here. Okay. 3 and 4 are your, you can eliminate 1 and 2, come to 3 and 4. So, the second sentence should be, both the options have P as the second. So, P is as with any other type of service, we intend to hire and outsource. So, what is cloud computing and what you are trying to do. So, these are two things which you have already decided upon. Now, third is, so you have decided what to do and what will you do next? Others yet may simply be insincere temporary business ventures that unexpectedly disappear, and here he is saying in the other one, some may offer attractive rates and terms but may have unproven business histories. So, here you have to decide on whether you want to put this first or you want to put this first. You want to put Q first or you want to put R first. So, when you are talking about your competitors, the first thing is others may be simply insincere or they may be going away. So, this is a highly likely thing. So, this can come first, and some may offer attractive rates and terms, but may have unproven business options. So, that can come next, and then you have others have solid business background, but may be offering very high rates. So, this way you can make sense out of these few sentences, because here in this option you have Q as the last, which is that others may yet be simply insecure or temporary businesses, which may not be the right option to go in the last. The last can be that others may have solid business, but their rates may be very high. So, that way you can eliminate some options and come to the right answer. Next is 148. 148 says, read the following passage and choose the appropriate adjectives from the given choices. One of the not so dash debates in modern society is whether I create my destiny or my destiny creates me. I create my destiny or my destiny creates me. This is a debate. Okay. So, here you can immediately go, there are two words, modern, but since debates in modern society is already here, so you can eliminate these two and go for careful or futile. One of the not so futile debates or careful debates, you can have to choose. Go to the next line. Many people believe that life moves according to a dash plan, here you have futile and here you have preordained, meaning that your life is already pre-decided or it is already preordained, that what is going to happen in your life, what is going to happen in the near future, what is going to happen in the later future. So preordained seems to be a better word here. So this word can be taken, and as all of us are regulated, governed and controlled by some supreme power and authority that guides our entire course of life. Quite simple. If you get the first, even if you do not get the first word correct, you can always go to the second, third and fourth words to make your sentence correctly. These two words are, the modern and modern are out of the question because they are already here in the sentence. Okay. So when you come down to 1 and 2, you see the rest of the words here. Many people believe that life moves according to a futile plan. Doesn't make sense. Okay. So it is a preordained plan. Next. Read the following sentences carefully and identify the sentences that have an incorrect use of adverbs. What is an adverb? An adverb is a word that it describes a verb, adjective or any other adverb. So an adverb is, read the following sentences carefully and identify that have an incorrect use. Again here they are saying incorrect, not the correct use of adverb. Okay. So here John works very hard 7 days a week. Tom drove careful along the narrow road. Sita spoke extremely well. We didn't go out because it was raining heavily. So here the adverb is describing the verb. Here John works very hard. This is the adverb. 7 days a week, correct sentence. Tom drove carefully. Here this is the wrong word. Carefully along the narrow road. So this is the wrong sentence. Sita spoke extremely well. Again describing a verb. She spoke extremely well. We didn't go out because it was raining heavily. Raining heavily, that is the description. That is also a correct sentence. So here you have the option of B only. So this will be a correct answer. Option 3 will be a correct answer. Match the following, match the type of conjunction with the sentence in which it is used and identify the correct mapping. So what is a conjunction? Conjunction is a word which joins two phrases or two sentences to make sense out of it. So here they gave the conjunction and they gave the sentence. So you have to match them according to the mapping. So first read the conjunction, the addition, result, reason, example and opposition. Various writers have examined the issue, for instance Van Excel. Although the concept is easy, it was difficult to answer the question. Furthermore, child mortality rates must be examined. Prices are rising worldwide, thus encouraging investment. Owing to the strike, today's classes are cancelled. So here you have to find out the correct conjunction. So this is a very tricky kind of question. So you have to be very careful on how you answer this. So here various writers have examined the issue, for instance. So here automatically you have one option here. So you have example. Okay. Here this is instance, this is example. So D will be 1. So just see where D is 1. D is 1 is only here. Okay. So here D is 3, D is 2 and D is 4. Only one is D. So 1A is addition 3. He says furthermore child mortality rate must be examined. So you have an addition to that. Result B he says is 4. Result, prices are rising worldwide, thus encouraging investment. So you have a result there. C he says is 5. Reason is owing to the strike today's classes are cancelled. That is because of the strike the reason the classes are cancelled. Example ho gaya. And 3 opposition is, he says E is 2. Opposition, although the concept is easy, it is difficult to answer the question. That is the opposition to that. So this way, even if you get one particular question correct, one option correct, then you can eliminate the other options, because here fortunately they did not give any other option for D. They gave it only in 1. So this will be your correct answer. Okay. So I hope that you could understand the grammar and vocabulary that has been given. And these are not the absolutely final answers. There may be some, it may be subject to some corrections, and whatever the commission finalizes, that will be the final result. But still, I have tried to make it easy for you to understand the logic behind the English part of this particular paper. So I hope it was useful for you, and we will be seeing you soon with a lot of with many more videos which are going to be useful to you in all your future examinations. So all the best, and bye for now.